You wrote flex.
Oh, mono black flex. So Charlie has this habit of buying like just stupid expensive printings of certain cards. So that's what he's going for here. Strictly mono black. I guess it's mono black control for all intents and purposes. Really cool deck. I've played against it myself. He utilizes cards like Hearn the Great Creator and a lot of other really crazy, degenerate black and artifact cards to control the game from an early position using Dark Ritual and the like. So this is going to be an interesting one. Reanimator, as you know, is an incredibly fast but fragile deck that if you interact with their graveyard, you know, whenever they try to reanimate a creature, usually shuts it down, at least for the time being. And Charlie, I believe, is running probably, let's see, let's take a look at these deck lists here. So, it looks like he's running an ensnaring bridge in the main, and he's playing sinkholes too, which is really cute. But I'm not seeing any like main deck anti-graveyard shenanigans. Normally they run like a one of or a two of since they're running Urza's Saga, but I don't think he's running one right now. We'll see how this one plays out though. If he can sinkhole him early enough, that usually takes Reanimator off of whatever they can do, unless they have like Lotus Petals or anything to that effect. So this is going to be an interesting one. And Jeremy Woods on Reanimator seems to be running. Oh, actually, that's interesting. 4 Archon of Cruelty, 4 Grizzlebrand, 3 Chancellor of the NX. Is that a Children of Coilus? Oh, that's cute. Okay. So he's not running any Grief. I've seen a lot of Reanimator lists running Grief. Oh no, he's running one. Sorry, he's running a single copy of Grief. And he's running. Yeah, it's just a black-red with a splash of white. It seems for some of the sideboard stuff. Interesting. Well, this is going to be interesting, folks. Lots of fun here at Parker Banner Kenton Wayne.
And today we will have backup matches. We know Legacy sometimes likes to run full matches in a span of 5 minutes. So we will have backup matches just in case. And currently on our backup match, we have a Jesse Inman and our very own Zach McMashot.
Reanimator. Oh, it looks like they're both taking a mulligan. Not surprising from the Reanimator deck, but Charlie taking a mulligan with mono black must have been a really bad hand. Typically, they just have so much utility in a lot of what they're doing. Let's see if they end up keeping their 6. I will say casting Legacy is a little different than our usual modern, just because there's so much that can be done so quickly, and games can end literally on turn 1. Especially with the Reanimator deck is notorious for doing that. He's keeping it. It's like a one-laner Dark Ritual. We got Exhume. We got Thoughtseize. Don't have a way to get a creature in the yard. We don't have a creature at all in the hand.
And I see Charlie has some Liliana of the Veil, Urborg in hand. Starting off with 5 cards in hand.
Yeah, that's an interesting keep. The Reanimator player really has no creature or a way to get one into the yard, so it looks like a Dark Ritual.
So we're probably going to see Lily.
Yeah.
Ooh, he could put in, that could be costly right now if he puts in a Lily.
Oh, he's hemming him.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay. So he opts not to go for the Lily. He's going for the him.
We hit a Reanimate and a Thoughtseize.
That's an Exhume. That's an Exhume. And then he's going to Thoughtseize him with the remaining black. Oh my goodness. See what I was talking about? This format's so swingy. Jeez. It's a soul-crushing turn 1.
Right, and I do apologize. There will be time you will hear Mike a little bit more than you will hear me hear me, because not only am I attempting to uh, commentate here, but I'm also running back and forth, talking with the judges, getting deck lists, and um, dealing with the shop owners as well. So,
Yeah, you got to fight them off every now and again. All
and
right.
there's a puppy here.
So Jeremy's gonna go ahead and get. Oh, jeez. That's pretty crazy. Looks like a smallpox is gonna take out a single land. Not sure why he didn't. Oh, I guess it didn't matter if he fetched it away or not because you still have to sack it. Okay, so he picked up an Exhume, so he just needs a way to do that. Charlie's gonna cast a Retrofitter Foundry with that maze, and yeah, this is pretty miserable for the Reanimator player. He has a Faithless City. If he can get a single land, he can start churning this away. But I know that Charlie has a lot. Oh, he actually picked up a Lotus Petal. I don't know if he wants to use that yet, though. Oh, I guess he's going to just straight up go for the Faithless City, because if he draws a land off of that as well, he should be able to reanimate a Grizzlebrand. Pitch a Grizzlebrand and a Chancellor. Charlie's already going to start churning these Thopters probably into constructs. Is it a wasteland for Charlie? Still no land for the Reanimator player, so it looks like the Charlie now has some pressure on the board with that 4/4. And he's got that wasteland, so pretty much the Reanimator player needs to draw a land. And only a land to be able to do anything. So at this point, Charlie's going to start hitting him repeatedly with that 4/4, and then soon to be another 4/4. Okay. So he's going to make another Thopter now. Yeah, this isn't looking very good for the Reanimator player at all. He's got that maze of it, so he can keep him from attacking with a Grizzlebrand. So at this point, I think it's pretty much over. Because even if he casts a Grizzlebrand, he can't attack with it. So he can. I don't even think he can draw 7. Yeah, he's just gonna go and pack it in. Charlie Hearn takes game 1 off of Jeremy Woods on Reanimator. Charlie Hearn once again on Mono Black Flex. And for those that weren't here earlier, he calls it Mono Black Flex because he's running things like Nether Void and Chains of Mephistopheles.
It's the only reason he built this deck is so he can put his Chains of Mephistopheles on there.
Literally. I'm surprised he didn't want to run his Tabernacle in here. That would have been neat.
Especially with as popular as AECAS has been recently. Tabernacle is a card that actually ends up being pretty good against that deck.
Yeah, and it's the cost of it's so low for his deck. I mean, he wants to be, using mostly black mana for everything. But I mean, with Urborg, even Tabernacle can tag for black. Can't quite tell what Charlie's looking to get rid of, but he's picking that Hearn up to the front. Oh no, he's. I think he might be thinking about it, but I think he's gonna take out Hammer 2. Can't quite tell. I'm sure we will see what he ends up doing.
I believe he took out the Liliana the last time.
Did he? Yeah, I guess that would
Yeah,
make
it looked like a
sense.
Planeswalker, but it didn't see Lily. I'm seeing on his, looks like it was Liliana the last hole.
See an Aura of Silence.
Wear Tear.
Yeah, so that's probably what that white splash is for. And there's a Meltdown, too. Interesting.
Yeah, that card, been seeing a lot of it because of Midcast.
Yep.
And a lot of these decks that are running There's the sagas as well.
Yeah, Meltdown is pretty soul crushing for any of those decks, but they do also run, you know, the forces in order to counteract something like that. But as you know, the Reanimator deck is full of hand hate.
As I'm seeing here, he has 3 wear tear and 2 meltdown on the sideboard. I wonder if he'll bring in Iona in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean that would be fair.
Because Iona would be a pretty bad blowout for Charlie.
Yeah, you just choose black, and the only thing you can do is Hearn stuff. That's about it.
Let me see, Karn and well, he's sleeping with Helm combo because he doesn't have the Helm of Obedience combo in the.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does.
So more than likely he did bring in his 4 Leyline of the Voids to stand against the Reanimator. I would assume while bringing those in, he'll bring in the Helm of Obedience as well.
Yeah, I mean why not? It just wins the game on the spot.
And if he starts off having a Leyline of the Void on the battlefield pregame, then
Yeah, you could.
not much Iona would be able to do in that game.
No, definitely not. I mean, it would just be too late at that point.
And then Karn, Michelson, Flatus, but I think that's a little too slow for.
Oh, very much so. I mean, like before Reanimator can win the game on turn 1, just with a turn 1
Oh, he's
Grizzlebrand.
also running a Sorin the Mirthless. That could have been the Planeswalker. So
Oh yeah, it was. It was. I was wondering what that thing was. It was like an alt-art one. It's an interesting card to run in Legacy, but I guess anything goes. Anything that creates value tends to be good in Legacy. Ledger Shredder, as you know, is also seeing a good bit of play in the Delver lists. Another recently printed card. So they're both going to take a mulligan. I'm not sure what's the discrepancy at the moment.
Charlie looks like he kept the card hand of 7.
Maybe he's just waiting for him to keep or not. There's that meltdown. I see an entomb and an animate. 2 animate deads and exhume. So yeah, that's a pretty good hand for the Reanimator player. Definitely. Charlie didn't take his mulligan. And as you know that the Reanimator player will be on the play, so he technically has priority as far as mulligans. I think this is Charlie's 2nd mulligan, though, which he probably was mulliganing for specifically Leyline of the Void, which would make sense to me, because, I mean, he could just die on turn 1. Or at least his opponent can walk out the game, although that's not entirely true. He could turn 1 Dark Ritual into Liliana the Veil and make him sack his creature, but
Hello.
even though that's not...
My wife said hello.
That's okay, Mama Reina, that makes sense.
So I see the 2 animate dead and 2. What's that card right there?
That's an exhume.
Exhume, Entomb, Reanimate.
It's got 2 lands.
Animate dead.
Yeah,
2 lands.
it's a really good hand for the Reanimator player. So there's that ley line.
And then Charlie in hand, I see Thoughtseize.
He's got Thoughtseize. Did he keep? Oh wait, yeah. So it's Urza's Saga, Mishra's Factory, and a Swamp, I think.
Yeah, a little update there. Forgot to put the names up.
He's gonna get that land wastelanded right off the bat, keeping the Reanimator player off of. I don't know. Okay. There's an Urborg, and then that Thoughtseize is gonna fire off.
And Charlie Hearn is up 1 game.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point, his opponent now has to rely on his wear tears, and
Yes.
let's see what else is here.
So at this point, okay, so he put the Archon of Cruelty in the.
Did he bring in those Serenities? I don't know. He was looking at them. Oh, there he drew the wear tear. Okay, so now he needs the mana to cast it. which he needs to find, specifically a fetch. Uh-oh. There's a him. See what happens. Okay, so he took the meltdown and the entomb.
Okay, so he still has that weird chair in hand.
It's an unmask. It's not quite where he wants to be, but he could use it to at least get some cards out of Charlie's hand. Chooses not to, though. Because he's got an abundance of animate deaths in his hand that he could have maybe utilized, but even then, I have a feeling he just wants to use it on himself for the turn that he can actually get some pressure on the board. Charlie drew another Ley Line of the Void. Okay, so still drew the Zoom, so he's still off mana on that one. It's an opposition agent, so every time Jeremy will search, he gets to search for him, which Entomb would be terrible with that.
So I'm seeing here he has Urza Saga in the battlefield, and in his main list, I don't see anything he can actually get with it. Looking at the sideboard here, he does have a Pithing Needle, which would be possible to bring in because of.
Oh, I forgot that he's fetching, so he has to fetch for a land.
He is allowed to fail to find, correct?
Don't quite know. That's a really good question.
Charlie's seeing the wear tear, so he's making sure he doesn't get any.
Interesting.
Oh, I forgot opposition agent. But in his whole list, I see one Pithing Needle and one Torpor Orb. No, you can't even get Torpor Orb off.
Saga?
Saga.
No, you cannot.
He has one card in his whole deck that he can get off Urza Saga.
He has Retrofitter Foundry as well, which is huge against at least fair decks. Against Reanimator, it's a little slow, but we actually saw last game it was enough to seal the game up. But I have a feeling he's going to go for that Pithing Needle. Just for a little extra adding against a Grizzlebrand. Those constructs are actually going to be 3/3s, which with that opposition agent, I mean, that should seal this up pretty quick. His opponent needs to draw exactly Scrubland. But even then, I don't think it's... I mean, he doesn't have an Exhume or anything or a creature in his hand, so I think this one's pretty much sealed up.
Yeah, and it seems like Charlie didn't bring in. Okay, Retrofitter probably is in hand.
Yep. What did he fail to find on that Saga?
Yeah, it seems like he didn't bring in the Pithing Needle.
That's weird. I mean, it's just an extra little bit of, okay, there's a grief. But he still needs a way to deal with that Ley Line, so at the moment, he's not really able to gain any sort of advantage. He's also missing he's gonna grief, Innocent Blood, and Ley Line of the Void to draw, or the cards, which both are really good against his opponent. Okay, so yeah, I think this is just lethal by this point. Yep, that's it. Looks like Charlie Hearn's gonna take the match 2-0 against his Reanimator opponent, Jeremy Woods. We're going to go ahead and see if we can go to the second game. So yeah, just go to that. Right-click it. And then undo edit. No. Go back. Okay. You just got to switch the source. Properties. And we'll just switch over to the next one. There we go. So it looks like we got Sneak and Show. Wow, that's a lot of glare. Sneak and Show versus Delver. Blue Red Delver. Where is that Sneak and Show? It's got a defense grid, a couple of brainstorms. I can't quite. Jesus, there.